Welcome everyone to another video about the life of Charles Schmidt. Today we'll be doing another great video. We hope you like, and if you like it, please like the video, share it if you feel that will be of any kind of benefit for anybody, or simply enjoy. Today we'll be talking about the best day of Charles' life. Charles, welcome. Another day in paradise, another video. All right. And how are you doing today? I'm good. I'm okay. You're okay? That's good. Charles, given your age, you have lived, I made the math, and you have lived over 30,000 days. I'm assuming that, throughout those days, you had some great days, some bad days, some days that you probably don't want to remember. But that's not what today's topic is about. Today's topic is about the best day of your life. I'm sure that out of 30,000 days, there may be one day that that's still stuck with you today. And looking back, what day stands out the best of your life, Charles?
Best day of my life is today, and the second best day of my life was yesterday. And the reason is that yesterday my daughter called me and told me I'm in the car and I'm struggling with my iPhone and my car and my FaceTime and all that, and couldn't concentrate. But she was telling me that remember that piano that you bought for us a few years ago? Well, we're having a piano recital at our house on Tuesday night with a piano teacher, and there is, I think 13 students coming to the piano recital. And I'm thinking, that's wonderful. In other words, I gave them a piano and I made it possible. And I told them how much I told my daughter how much I appreciate music. And so her son and her daughter are participating in this piano recital at her house tomorrow, and she is participating. So anybody can play at the piano recital, and they're going to have a little party there tomorrow night. And I'm thinking, all this money I give away to these charities and music and bringing Russian pianists in here, and here I have in my own family, in other words, some music interest, which means that it means I'm having some positive influence on my family. So I'm thinking about this, all day last night and first thing this morning. And at whenever there's a recital or something, it's sort of a competition. Like who's the best player and who's made the most improvement and who's done this and who's done that. And you know, that's that's great. And but there's also something, as I've been going through all my 30,000 days in my life, and some better than others and some not so good. uh, a lot of things in life are based on luck. And as a matter of fact, if you ask me about my health this morning, it's terrible. I take my blood pressure that's 170 over 91. That's way too high. That's a danger level. And of course, I'm concerned about that. And as soon as we start the interview, I'm thinking, God, I don't want to do this interview. Well, how can I come up with the best day of my life when I'm thinking, I might not make it through, and I got to, in other words, the health issue is overwhelming my thinking. And then all of a sudden, and I'm thinking, what's the best day of my life? Well, the best day is today, because this morning, in other words, my my daughter's having this recital at her house, Now, how can I participate there? So my grandchildren call me Pascal, and so Pascal starts with P. Then there's piano starts with P, and it's a performance starts with P. And so I'm thinking in my original thinking, I gotta I'm gonna have a so I write Dear Valerie, and the title of the thing Pascal Performance Prize. In other words, I'm giving to give a prize committee. It says coincidentally, P is the first letter piano and also the first letter of Pascal. I've been thinking all weekend about how to participate, P, and recital at your home because piano music has contributed so much to my enjoyment. Success and happiness depend not only on skill, hard work, and intelligence, but also being at the right place at the right time. And good luck.
That's amazing.
Now all these kids are showing up tomorrow, and some are going to perform well and some are not going to perform well. And so the one that didn't perform well, he's going to feel bad. And the one that did is going to feel great and all that. So, but that's not what life is all, it's great and it's skill and hard work and everything's all important. But, I had some skill and some hard work and everything, but my happiness and success didn't come from that. It came from good luck in the right place at the right time. When I ran into Gene, that was a good day. That was a real good day. Now that was just luck that I got invited to that bridge party that day, and it was just luck that she was who she was. It wasn't because I was skillful or I selected the right part. I didn't even know who, I didn't know much about her, and one thing led to another. So, in other words, that was luck. So at this party tomorrow, prize doesn't go to the one that's the smartest or the best piano player. The Old Charles Fund wishes to offer a 3-day trip to a Palm Beach symphony. The prize, 3-day trip for the family with transportation, food, and hotel to the luckiest pianist with his or her family this coming season. In other words, one piano player there is going to get to bring his family to Palm Beach and stay at the Breakers or something and go to a Palm Beach symphony. And I'll involve the symphony in this. And I get them to meet the conductor and all that kind of stuff. The winner could be selected by a drawing. Who has the most of the letter P in their first and last name? That would be one tick. Who has the most number 2 and 1 in their address? Because that's the 21st letter of the alphabet, P. Or any other topic, something ridiculous, where the prize goes to the pianist who just shows up at the right place. They come to the recital tomorrow and happens to have a lucky day. Wow. So that's my prize.
Charles, you're amazing. You're amazing.
So,
It's interesting how you took the time to, besides your health, how you're feeling today. It's very interesting how you took the time to even come up with those ideas, the letter P, the street address being a 2 and a 1 and 1 or 1 and 2s, and how like having the 21 being the letter P in the alphabet. That's amazing. And
they could come up with something else, but they're going to be a drawing tomorrow night, and so somebody's going to get lucky.
absolutely. And it's interesting how we come up with today's topic of being the best day of your life.
Yeah, so,
But you're gonna create the best day in someone's life. And I am sure about that because not just the family, but I mean that kid is not never gonna forget that. You know, going to this place and playing piano and getting a trip to the Palm Beach Symphony. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, well,
You know, Charles, were you expecting any member of your family coming up with this music interest at all?
well, well, I hope they would. The 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 reason there was no musical interest in my part in the beginning, because my mother made me play the piano. You have to sit down and you have to practice for an hour a day and this and that. And I hated the piano. And I would sit there. And then she'd make me listen to records of concert pianists. And I remember listening to Oscar Levant. She played that over and over and over. And that was her way of trying to get me interested in playing the piano. And that's not the way to go. My deal is it's going to be fun. I mean, whether you play well or not. And I go to a piano recital. I'm 6 years old, and it's just like Valerie's little party tomorrow night recital. And I sit down, and all parents are watching me. All the kids are watching. I can't play a note on the piano. So, in other words, I was a failure at the piano in the beginning, and so I never was able to be a musician.
Imagine if things were to turn around and you were at that party tomorrow and you're the one with the one that doesn't play the piano that well. You'll be the lucky guy in the room. Yeah. Right. So how does this whole thing make you feel though?
It makes me feel terrific. It makes me feel real good.
Do you think that most people recognize their best days while they're happening, or do you think they look back on the memories and they were like, okay, that was the best day of all?
I think I think too many people, are focused on why is today so bad. What is wrong with the people in Washington? Why don't I have any friends? Why don't I do this? Why don't I have more money? What you know? Why in my health? I'm just elated to be alive today, and and just in other words, I am elated to know that my daughter's having a piano recital at her house.
And that's amazing. That's really amazing, though. You know, and I think you hit it right on the edge. And that being said, what would you encourage others to pay attention so that they don't miss that best day in their life?
Well, I hope they watch some of this stuff. I hope it gets edited. They're not going to, because I know, and this is in the beginning. Like, I watch these videos, and there's either zero, one, two, or three people watching it. And if there's one, two, or three watching it, that was me. I was the one that watched it. There's not another soul watches this.
Oh, no, my wife actually watches it, believe it or not.
She watches it on
So
your.
she's another.
Maybe it didn't register on YouTube or something.
Yeah, no, but she does. Trust
Okay.
me, she
Okay.
does.
Well, that's not
You got
all the people.
you got a loyal follower in there.
We haven't reached any of the 1,300 students of Dreyfus School.
Oh no.
We don't know about them, and
Yeah.
and
So in addition to this, if someone feels like they haven't had a best day yet, what will you tell them?
well, there's gonna be just this old cliche, it's darkest before the dawn, and but that's you know the best day is to be alive. In other words, it's like to be alive, to be doing something. Now, you and I are sitting here and talking to the cameras, and maybe somebody watches it or somebody doesn't, but it makes me feel good that I have it out there, that somebody might watch it and somebody might benefit. But if I didn't make this video, There's no possible way they could benefit from anything I have to say. And by the same token, if I weren't alive, they couldn't benefit. Now, also in the swag thing, they gave me is a book on Alexander Dreyfus. He's the one that the school is named after. He's the one that the big concert hall in the state in the Palm Beach Symphony is named after.
That's amazing.
Okay, now this is a great book, and it says, and I've read 125 pages already. So, including all other stuff I read this weekend, I've read 125 pages of Dreyfus's book. He's a fascinating guy. He started out as a photographer. He likes to do that sort of stuff. He's had a company, worked with Eastman Kodak. He ended up down here owning a television station. So he's in communication. So what he did is he got his message out. He is famous, and he has done so much good work that, in other words, this guy has been an inspiration. They named the school after him. I mean,
To finish up with this video, because it's amazing, how I can see they have a lot of technical on Dreyfus.
It's amazing how my health has improved just by the fact that I'm talking about something.
Absolutely. What advice would you give someone who's trying to create their own best day?
Well, first of all, they just gotta wake up in the morning and be thankful that they're alive. I mean, it's you can't be happy while you're dead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, everyone, thank you for watching this video again. I think that some of the takeaways from today is enjoy every single day. Don't wait to be dead. Take advantage and be thankful for being alive each day and enjoy each day as the best. Thank you, everyone.